Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to another video. First things first, guys, make sure you smash a like and make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new around here on the road to 7,000 subscribers, and every new subscriber helps. And in today's video, with it being the international break, not an awful lot going on, I am doing a fan Q&A video, guys. Obviously, I asked you to put your questions in, and I've selected sort of 4 or 5 of the ones that I think most need addressing. So we're going to dive into it and I'm going to give my answers and give my thoughts. And as always, leave your thoughts in the comments below, people. So let's dive into this then. So first question is, are you still backing Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League? Short answer is yes. Look, obviously, before the season started, I said that I predicted Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League again. After 4 games, we're not in the best position, back in our regular surroundings of 12th place, but I still stand by what I said. I'm still backing Chelsea to qualify for the Champions League. I think, in a manager in Pochettino who's only going to get better the longer that he's here. The players are going to get more used to his methods, are going to get more used to each other. And I do think that playing once a week is going to be a massive help to us. And I think eventually this is going to click. There was always going to be a few teething issues at the start of the season with so many new players, particularly so many young players. They all lack consistency. That's what you get from youngsters. But I think this will click, and there's too much quality for us not to become a half-decent, cohesive side over the course of this season and, push up into those Champions League places, whether it's 4th, whether it's 5th. We'll find out about 5th place in January, see how many teams get out of the group stage in the Champions League. But yeah, look, I'm still backing the teams to do this. I believe in the quality. I believe in the manager. I do believe in the project, despite the mixed start to the season so far. But there's no two ways about it. We absolutely have to start picking up some wins, starting with the next 4 games between now and the next international break in October. We've got Bournemouth away, we've got Villa at home, Fulham away, and Burnley away. We have to get a minimum 10 points from that. If we're not getting 10, 12 points from that, we're gonna be making it really, really difficult for ourselves. But yeah, look, there's going to be more tough days. There's going to be more bad defeats, but I'm still confident that we'll finish in the Champions League because we've got the quality and we've got the quality of manager as well, and this will come right. Eventually, this is going to come right. I don't know at what point we're going to start winning again per se, but we are going to start putting some results together and moving up the table. I think we've got more than enough quality to finish in those Champions League spaces. So yeah, absolutely. But we have to start picking points up sooner rather than later because the Premier League's so competitive and it's going to be a lot more difficult to qualify for those Champions League places if you're dropping points with the likes of Newcastle, Brighton, Villa, Spurs, all these teams, are going to be chasing those positions. So yeah, we've got to get back on it. We've got to gel as quickly as possible. I'm still backing us to qualify in the Champions League spaces. If this comes back to bite me in the arse at the end of the season, so be it. So be it. Are fans overreacting after the Nottingham Forest defeat? You could say yes. I thought the boos at the end of that Forest game were slightly unnecessary, a little bit overreactionary. What I would say, though, like supporting football, supporting a team's emotional. Fans are emotional, in the heat of the moment. You're going to express your opinions, maybe something in the cold light of day you might not do. Fans are well within their rights to express how they feel after a game. It was a really, really disappointing performance. There's no two ways about it. But look, there are some alarming issues for me that still need to be addressed. So look, I don't want to say people are overreacting because I don't want to police how people are feeling. But for me, I feel there's been a general overreaction. Yes, it needs to be criticised. And yes, there's things that are concerning, such as our inability to still be able to break down low blocks, particularly at home and particularly after going a goal down as well. Those are things that massively need addressing. I'm still concerned about where the goals are going to come from. And I think the Forest game further highlighted those issues big time. But look, for me personally, I feel there's been a slight overreaction to it, but everyone's entitled to their opinions. We are only 4 games in. We've still got 34 games to go. There is a long, long way to go this season. There's going to be peaks and troughs along the way, but we will win the majority of our games. I do feel confident about that, but I absolutely fully aware that the home form is dreadful, and it has been for a number of years now. And we still seem to have an inability to break down low block teams, particularly at home. Away from home, I don't worry about us as much. I think the home teams will come out and try and play a bit more, which probably suits us. But at home, I do worry about our form, and I'm concerned about it because it's been poor for a number of years. We just don't look like we've got any ideas of how to break down a low block side. And if we're going to finish in those Champions League space, like the first question was referring to, that home form has to improve, and we have to find a way to break these teams down. The underlying stats, from the first 4 games of the season, we've got top in average possession, top in sort of touches in the opposition's box and all those sort of things. So we are putting some good stuff together on the pitch, but ultimately the only stat that matters is the scoreline and the points and the number of points in the points column on the table. And, you know, we've been found wanting in both areas over the first 4 games of this season. So look, I think there's definitely been some critical, maybe overreacting at times, but there's quite frankly and rightly, there's been some criticism of things seen on the pitch that need to improve drastically. And, you know, the tactical setup is absolutely one of those. So I think maybe some people have overreacted, but I think the general reaction to it has not been outrageous in my opinion. You know, you expect more. Now, obviously, you know, we've got all these young players, new squad, new manager, all these things, but that's not an excuse for not beating Nottingham Forest at home. So, yeah, look, I think the reaction on the whole has been okay. But yeah, I think obviously in some sections there's always going to be an overreaction. You know, it's just the way it is with football. Who was Chelsea's best summer signing? Well, I mean, it's a bit early to tell because obviously we're not going to know until they've been here for a bit longer to sort of see who is going to be, you know, a top signing and who isn't. But on the face of it, I think for me, the signing of the summer will probably have to be Moises Caicedo. You know, we needed a partner for Enzo. We've needed an out-and-out, top-class sort of all-action midfield player, a bit of a midfield destroyer. We've been crying out for one of those for years and years and years. We finally got him, you know, after a protracted transfer saga. Look, he's not had the best start to his Chelsea career, given the penalty away at West Ham. Partially at fault for the goal against Forest, although not entirely his fault. I don't know why people are fully blaming him, where there are still quite a few phases of play for it to go through before it actually ended up in the back of the net. But yeah, for me, I have to say, for what we needed, you know, the age, is how good he is already, the potential and how good he could be in the future. For me, I think Moises Caicedo will go down as Chelsea's best summer signing. It's a position that's been needed filling for years. He's a top quality player, and he should be able to serve us in the midfield for years to come. And that partnership with him and Enzo will only go from strength to strength. I think it will become one of the best partnerships in the Premier League in midfield. So for that reason, I'm saying Moises Caicedo. But I do also think that Cole Palmer is going to be a very good signing. But if I had to pick one, I think Caicedo is going to be the pick of the bunch for Chelsea's summer signings this season. Why do you feel Modric isn't starting? Now, this is an interesting one. Modric's, you know, dividing a lot of opinion here. A lot of people are already hating on him, writing him off. I personally don't understand it. In reality and in hindsight, which is great, of course, the debut that he had up at Anfield was probably the worst thing that could have happened to him because it just lifted the level of expectation tenfold, and then everyone was expecting that every single game. And the reality of it is that, you know, he's come from the Ukrainian league where he did well under De Zerbi, did really well in the Champions League. But, you know, the quality is chalk and cheese. It's night and day. You know, the level is a massive, massive step up. He's young. He's not played an awful lot of senior football in his whole career. And there were always going to be inconsistencies, like with every single young player. Why I feel he's not starting, I don't think Pochettino fully trusts him yet. I'm not sure if Modric has done enough to impress the manager. So that's probably why I feel that those are the reasons why I feel he's not starting. He's not got the trust of the manager, and perhaps in training he's not doing enough to impress. You can't knock his work ethic, but it's really difficult for him to get an opportunity when you're only getting 10, 15 minutes, poverty minutes from the bench to try and make an impact. He just needs to be given a run of games, particularly when you've got Ben Chilwell playing left wing, who's not a left winger. He needs to be given a run of games, allowed to make mistakes, allowed to learn from those mistakes, adapt from those mistakes in game, and not know that he's going to be the first one subbed off after an hour and all that sort of thing. So yeah, Modric just needs a little bit of an arm around the shoulder. He needs some trust. He needs some coaching. He needs developing. But he should be getting more minutes than he is, in my opinion. I feel the reason for that is a trust element. And Pochettino, maybe he's not been fully impressed by him in training either. Those are the only reasons that I can think of as to why he's not starting. Do Chelsea need to win something this season, given the money spent? Well, look, regardless of the money spent, Chelsea as an institution and a recent history, last 20 years, the expectation is to win something every single season. It's not necessarily going to happen, but the expectation is to absolutely win something. With the money spent comes even more pressure and the expectation to win. And people sort of equate spending with, oh, you should be successful. It doesn't work like that. Otherwise, a team that spends the most money would win every year. And that just simply isn't the case. Now, there's no two ways about it. You know, Chelsea have got a golden opportunity this season to try and win something. I don't even care if it's a Carabao Cup. You know, We need to get some domestic silverware under our belts. No domestic silverware since 2017, the FA Cup. Eden Hazard 1-0 under Antonio Conte against Man United. Since then, I think we've lost 5 or 6 consecutive Wembley finals, Carabao Cups, and FA Cups. It's about time we put some domestic silverware back in the Stamford Bridge cabinet. And this season is as good a chance as any. Playing once a week, no Champions League football. And the League Cup is really the easiest trophy to win. Of course, draw dependent, but it's the least amount of games needed to get to a final. And it's the first opportunity to get your hands on some silverware. And we should absolutely be taking this cup competition seriously. It breeds that winning mentality and also gives that belief within the squad, new manager, new group of players that, yes, we can win, and it can push you on, and it can help you realize that you are winners, and you can go on from strength to strength from that point in time. It's when Jose Mourinho first came to the club, took the League Cup seriously. It was the first bit of such silverware we won as a group together, and that sent us on from strength to strength. We could have a similar type impact by winning the League Cup this season. So yeah, I think, look, absolutely, I think Chelsea do need to win something. Are we going to win something? I'm not sure, but yeah, I think look, we do need to win something. I don't see that being an outrageous thing to say. But at the same time, I'm fully aware that very few teams can win the trophies, and it is going to be difficult. But there's no reason why we shouldn't be going full strength in every single round of the cup, and seeing where it takes us. But yeah, look, my predictions at the start of the season were Champions League football and win the League Cup. I'm going to stick by that. I think we can do it. I think we need to do it. And it's about time we brought some domestic silverware back to the club, because it has been way, way too long for a club of our size, of the quality of the players we've got and the money we've spent, to not be winning trophies. So yeah, I think we do need to win something. That is the honest answer on that one there. But yeah, guys, that rounds out the Q&A video. Thank you so much for everyone sending their questions in. Apologies if I didn't answer every single question, but I will do more of these throughout the season, throughout the international break. So yeah, please do send your questions in, people. But yeah, as always, guys, make sure you smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. And I'll catch you again in another video soon. Take care, up the Chelsea, and peace out, people.